sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just a perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sunny days, sunny days, sunny days. No clouds in the sky, but again, away feels like it's been...
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Social Beaches. I'm Carolyn Smith.
I'm Kelly Bowling.
And we sell real estate all along the Space Coast, Brevard County, and into Indian River County, which is Vero Beach. We would love to hear from you if you're looking to buy or sell, or if you have questions about real estate. You can call us at 321-422-2160. You can email us at hello@coastalestateteam, or you can DM us or leave us a message on whatever platform you are watching us on.
Yes.
Today, we're going to have some fun. We are going to talk about dressing for success or not.
Maybe
or
not.
And the attitudes that people have just based on their age, their gender, or what area of the country that they're in.
Yes. There's a lot of factors as to people's opinions of how a professional should be dressed.
Yes.
And what the expectations are.
Yes. So we see it when we go visit an attorney. Doctors are usually in some sort of lab coat or scrubs or something like that. But attorneys or a CPA or something like that. I remember going to see an attorney one time, and very well recommended attorney, and he was dressed like he just crawled out of bed and put on his old holy T-shirt with all the holes in it.
Former attorney?
I don't know.
Because I loved him so much. Mr. Belcher, if you're out there, you were the best. I remember going to sit in his office.
Yeah.
It was late in the evening because I had to travel up north for this case that I was dealing with my children.
Yeah.
And he had just come back from the gym, and he had long hair. He was very much the 70s renegade. He used to work for the Department of Justice back in the day. He was so cool, super cool. And he spoke before the Supreme Court before. It's super cool history that this guy had. But he was in his kind of scrubby clothes with his long hair and, not looking like he was ready for court. But obviously we went to court.
And you liked that, but you have to wonder, did it impact his business? Were there people who wouldn't use him because he didn't come in his three-piece suit?
His ponytail, yes, he would pull the hair back for his court appearances.
And also, so there's that type of dress, which impacts us because people talk about realtors, and I see it on other realtors' videos where people will comment. Somebody does a video of them, like a house tour.
Yeah, and maybe they're not dressed super professional or whatever.
But how do you expect your realtor to dress? Now, remember, when you come to us, you're looking for a house. Very few people are dressed up. They're wearing shorts, flip-flops. I mean, we're in Florida. They're wearing their casual clothes. I literally had someone come to a closing, I kid you not, the final walkthrough, straight off the beach with his surfboard in his car and a wetsuit on. So he took the wetsuit off. He did have something underneath, but I'm like, can you dry off? Do you have a towel? We can't really walk through the house, even though you don't own it yet.
I think, in my experience, most people come to the walkthroughs. They're preparing to move that day, so they are in their workout attire, grubby clothes. Because they're planning to be hot and sweaty. It's Florida.
Yes.
Pretty much all year round for the most part. And then the best part is when you're like, let's all take a celebratory photo. They're like, oh, God, I didn't know we were taking pictures today.
I didn't brush my hair this morning. I barely brushed my teeth. But even to look at houses, I mean, I tend to dress up. It's just I feel better when I dress up. I don't dress up because you expect me to be dressed up or the client or whatever. I dress up because I like to. And plus, if I don't wear heels, I look like somebody's 5-year-old child because I'm a little on the short side.
I guess it would look a little weird for you to be wearing sweats with a pair of heels on. I mean, people do it.
But I have if I know a client well enough and it's a Saturday or Sunday or just a spur of the moment thing, I have thrown on a pair of khakis and some Keds or some sneakers, some sort of sneakers and a T-shirt and run out.
Yeah. And we all do. I think it just depends on how well do you know these people. And I will never forget this. It was my first luxury price point client that I ever had. This was years ago. And I was like, oh, they're coming to look at these really fancy homes. So I have to like super dress up, you know, blazer and the heels. And we had 2 different vehicles, and I was using the more, I'll call it the more casual vehicle, the back and forth, better on gas because you know, you're driving far. But I told my husband, I'm like, I need the fancy car today. I'm gonna be needing that LR4. Awesome. I love that car. Yeah. But it was big and a gas hog. But I need to drive and dress to impress. And I will never forget showing up to the first house to meet them for the first time. Yeah. And they're in a Toyota Camry and in their shorts, flip-flops, yoga attire. And I was like, I feel very overdressed now. And I completely judged that one wrong. Like, don't put too much thought into it, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I like to dress. I mean, I never feel overdressed, honestly. I think it's been a thing since I was a kid. So for me, I like to be the overdressed. I want to be more dressed up than you. I want to be dressed more than you're dressed.
You always look nice. So I think that,
that's nice. But I mean, I like, for me, that's my comfort zone. Yes. But I don't think there's anything wrong. I mean, again, we live in a beach area, a coastal area. Yes. And there are some male realtors who will dress, but like some of the most successful ones, they are wearing a pair of khakis and a surf shirt.
Or board shorts and a surf shirt. And, you know, they sell, like a friend of mine, he's one of the top realtors, and he just, you know, he's chill. He's wearing his, you know, little
And I think so. The question is, are women judged differently than men? Do people expect like it's okay that the man shows up like that, but the woman is expected to be more polished, more?
Oh, is the hair done? Is the makeup done? Yeah. Is all the nails done? You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I do the things. Yeah. I do the things for sure. I think, and the other one is like tattoos, and also male versus female. Yes. Like, are you going to hire or work with a realtor that is covered in tattoos? Are you judgy about that? And that plays to like what generation is the person that's doing the judging. I don't have an issue with it. I have some. I'm certainly not covered by any means, but I have a couple, and I don't have a problem with it. So I don't know that people do, but what's interesting, we were talking about what is it, Selling Manhattan or Owning Manhattan with Ryan Serhant. Which he had hired a realtor he's now fired. He didn't fire him because of his tattoos, but he was literally covered, like neck and everything. Yeah, covered in tattoos, and it was interesting. He didn't seem to have any problem getting business, you know. And I think and it was, you know, who is his clientele, right? That's right. I think his clientele was definitely younger. He did mention that he's young and hip, and he was getting like the influencers, because he's young and hip. Yes. And whatever, so you're not necessarily getting somebody older, more conservative. I feel like it's an expression, you know, to have the tattoos, just like a hair color, right? If it's pink or purple, I think judging someone based on their hair color, their tattoos, what they're wearing, and we as people who deal with the public, I absolutely know that the way you're dressed when you show up to meet me, or when I first meet you, or maybe every time I meet you, has nothing to do with your ability to buy a house. No, the amount of money you have, your back. It has nothing to do with that. The person who drives up in the Toyota Camry, or wearing the most casual clothes, wearing the most inexpensive, like if they're a woman carrying an inexpensive bag, that person probably has the most money. Probably. Yeah. I mean, look at Warren Buffett. Yeah. Yeah. He's a perfect example. He's not showy. Yeah. There are showy people, but there's so many people who are not showy, and they don't want you to necessarily know what they have. Some people don't need you to know that. Like, it's kind of like you're comfortable enough with your whatever, your portfolio, your finances, whatever, that it doesn't need to be out out and loud for everybody else to see. Yeah. So. Yeah, and we were talking in the office about this, and Erin, who's a realtor on our team that we work with, and she's from, I don't know where she's originally from, the Northeast somewhere. Yeah, I can't remember. New Jersey. Oh, yeah, New Jersey. Okay, and she always wears closed-toed shoes. Always. And Kelly and I almost never, unless I'm wearing like in the winter. Yeah, I will wear like a ballet flat so they're covered. Or if I'm like working out, obviously I've got tennis shoes on, but or boots, or a boot in the winter time. Yeah, but in the summer, she always wears closed-toed shoes. So she said it's considered she didn't say disrespectful. She said not professional. Not professional to show your toes in the North, and I'm like,
Is that true?
I mean, I'm from Maryland, and I do remember, okay, I worked for the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
When I was like 18 years old, I was a call taker, non-emergency, and we did have a dress code, and you could not show your toes.
Really?
No open-toe shoes were allowed, and if you wore a dress, you had to wear pantyhose as a female. It was required. So sometimes I would skirt
grew
the
up
rule.
here
You know,
and-
it's really bad. Is I would wear like a little bit longer, of like a midi length.
Yeah.
And I do not like pantyhose. They are no, thank you. So
Do
I would
people
wear
still wear
the good old
pant-
knee highs.
Do
Remember
people-
the knee highs? And you would get like the line.
Don't they roll down?
Well, I was constantly like,
oh, yeah.
my mom used to subscribe to like the hosiery club. So she must have had 4 million pairs of pantyhose and knee highs
This is so awesome.
back in
I love
the
this.
like the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So of course, when I grew up and moved out, you know, at the young age of 19, I also became a subscriber of the hosiery club. Who remembers
It's like
that?
the hair club for men. The hosiery
The
club.
hosiery club. I
Yeah.
had so many. And then it was like a blast from the past when I went to flight attendant training because you also were required to wear pantyhose.
Do they still have to wear pantyhose?
I don't think now. Delta took that off of. They are no longer required
I
at
feel like
Delta.
they're hot. And
They're miserable.
and, like-
who likes wearing those? Raise your hand.
Yeah.
And don't lie.
Yeah,
Nobody likes.
Nobody
that.
likes to wear those. No. But isn't that funny? Well, I think the closed-toe things, but since I've only been in Florida and lived in,
Yeah.
I don't think. Now, my very first job, which was a corporate job out of college, I did wear pantyhose, and I hated them. And they always, like, run. Like, you snag them on something, and you have, like, this little run
putting them
coming
on
down
your
yeah.
fingernail pulls. Yeah, that's why
So
you
I'm
had to
wearing
have
a
4 million
suit. I
pairs.
used to wear
Yeah.
suits every day. I wore a
Just
suit.
easier. Yeah, the
I wore a
pants.
suit, and no, I wore skirts.
Oh, did you?
As Leanne said, my best friend, she's like, when she met me like, we were both like recently out of college, and she's like, you wore some short skirts back then. And I did, and I was in a very conservative company.
Yeah.
And she's like, you were getting away with it. And I'm like, they didn't seem short to me, but
Right.
I grew up by the beach where you're wearing like cutoffs and,
Oh yeah, so
And,
it's like I'm dressed up. Well, so I was scrolling TikTok as we do, and I came across it was kind of a series. Once you watch one, then you get to
Yeah.
see all their videos.
Yeah.
And it was this girl who I guess was being given a hard time by somebody in HR. It was a female. About the clothes that she was wearing. And she was a curvy girl.
Yeah.
So she had, nice curves. She was a little busty. And so she was wearing kind of bodycon style dresses.
Which looks great.
They look fantastic, especially when you have a shape.
Yeah.
But
You
her
gotta have
HR
what I
person,
don't have.
I guess, was giving her a hard time about it. And somebody had left a comment and said that's just her jealousy. And so she had posted that comment
Yeah.
of her going in to speak with that person. And then I guess that HR lady was out one day. So there's a man in place, and she went into his office, and she's like, so-and-so's not here today, but she's been having a hard time with my clothing that I'm choosing to wear to work.
So weird.
So
Isn't
can
it
I get
weird?
your blessing on what I'm wearing today? And she had on another bodycon dress, little cleavage showing, but she had a blazer over top of it. It looked professional.
Yeah.
And he was like, you look like you're ready. You're good. And so the next video I ran into was the HR woman was back again. And she's like, management's telling me that I have to apologize to you for what I said about your attire because they disagree with my opinion. And she's like, but while you're here, what's going on with this outfit today? And there was nothing out there. So 100% that was like female to female jealousy or...
There's a weird thing with
Yeah.
women because, first of all, I think, you were covering everything up. Like years ago, people were just covering everything up. They couldn't
Right.
show anything. And I saw a video that the woman she was a car salesman. And she had she was young and also very curvy but very attractive girl. Probably woman. People hate when I call people girls, but... We're girls.
Yeah.
But she was probably mid-20s or something. And she had relocated. So she had worked at a car dealership in her previous town, got hired at this new car dealership. And almost right away, the management started telling her, people are complaining about you. Well, the person who was complaining about her was the wife of one of the other salesmen.
The jealous wife.
The jealous wife. She was complaining about her. She found this out. She was like, so she would show, this is what I'm wearing today. What do you all think? And I am telling you, there was nothing she wore that was inappropriate or whatever. It was her figure. That's what she looked like. She looked amazing.
Right.
Like, I wish I had all those curves.
So
I mean,
if,
she looked great.
somebody with a rectangular body shape wore it,
Yeah.
nobody would be complaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was because she was curvy and she did have cleavage, and anything she wore, unless she wore like a brown paper sack, was going to show that. She ended up quitting that job eventually because she was harassed so much.
That's terrible. Yeah.
Telling her, oh, you really shouldn't wear that today. You shouldn't wear that. I mean, she couldn't be her, which she said she wore the exact same clothes at the previous car dealership, and no one ever complained. There was never a problem. It was
Right.
never considered inappropriate.
I think that some of it is just mean girl energy.
Yeah.
You know, it does
Yeah.
happen. Unfortunately, you don't ever hear men talking about this. Well,
Mean
Larry
man.
said that Joe's outfit was a little risque today. That'll be in our next episode, by the way.
I can't speak. That's so funny.
I mean, think about it. You never hear that, but
No.
women are super judgy of other
Yeah.
women. And honestly, the men are not the ones complaining.
No.
Unless it's their daughter, maybe. But
No,
yeah.
generally the men aren't complaining, and they,
Half the time they're not noticing.
Yes.
Let's be real.
People
Yeah.
come in all shapes and sizes, and the way your clothes fit or whatever doesn't impact how you can do your job. And I
No,
think people
not
are
at all.
much more knowledgeable about that now. I think that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, but like no toes. I mean, come on, what? Oh, look
Hold
at
on.
Julie. She's
Could
showing
land
her
on some
toes
feet
today.
finder. That's free content right there, y'all. Your toes are out.
Don't look now. Your toes are showing.
I mean, right? That's so crazy.
So
Yeah.
anyway, we would love to hear what people think.
Yeah, what is your opinion?
Yeah.
What's professional? Does it matter? Do you care what your
Yeah.
realtor's wearing when they show you a house? Are you even paying attention?
care?
You know what my biggest question is? Did I wear this the last time I had them out with
I was
me?
like, I started thinking I need to take pictures and like store them in my phone. Like take a picture. This was what I wore on Monday, August 8th or whatever day it
Right.
is. This is what because I can't remember what I wore. Like
No,
Friday
and I'm
rolls
like,
around
You're
and
gonna think
I'm
I have
like,
one outfit.
and you have to remember, right? You have to remember we're not seeing the client every day.
No.
So let's say we saw them on Saturday and then we see them the next Saturday and we're like, what did I wear last Saturday? Did I
Don't
wear?
remember. Yeah, and I get my favorites. Like I feel like everybody does. You get
Yes.
your favorite outfits, what's comfortable, what looks
Yes.
good, you feel good in it, and then you tend to like at least wear it once a week.
Yeah.
You know?
I just don't have that many clothes. I don't have time to shop. And ever since, a whole nother subject, but ever since malls stopped being a thing where you can't find anything in the mall and you have to order everything online, which is great, but it's time consuming. And it's like,
There's
I
so
order
many
it, it
options.
comes, I don't like it, I have to send it back. I end up
Yes.
keeping like one thing and then I'm like, this was exhausting. And I just,
much
whatever's
work.
in my closet, like, that's it for a while.
Yeah.
That's it for a
Yeah.
while. But anyway, so we want to hear what people think.
Yeah.
I'm really fascinated to hear what people think. So
Definitely.
let us know and we'll talk to you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Weather forecast today.
Today's